Well, I'm white, but my mother-in-law's black, and in the summer she hasn't been very well, and she went to the hospital about 8 times, and she kept getting sent away. Her son went with her at one point, and her son, for questioning a doctor, got told that he was being aggressive. Now, I was 120 miles away, but I drove, I picked her up, and I took her back to the same hospital.
Right.
And then we happened to find out that she wasn't okay. She actually had cancer, and it was really quite bad. A few weeks, and she could have been past treatment and close to dying.
What do you take away from that, Stephanie?
I was in the hospital, and I said to them, I believe that it's her race, because I've come here and I've spoke to doctors and it's getting done. So I was just blunt and said it exactly how it was.
And what did they say?
They didn't really know what to say.
8 times. You see, with it 1 or 2 times, they might have had a leg to stand on, mightn't they? But 8 times she's sent away with a sense that she's wasting their time.
And about 3 or 4 ambulances to the house as well. The cancer was found in her stomach.
That's unbelievable. Well, actually, it's unbelievable to me. It's obviously going to be eminently believable to a lot of the people listening who come from a different background from the one that I come from. How shocked were you as a white woman?
Well, I studied sociology and inequality, so I wasn't that shocked, and I was actually telling my black family, I was actually telling them this isn't right. And when I come down and I said I wanted to take her to the hospital, she said, no, they said, I'm fine. I said, I can see you're in pain. Why are you believing them? Because they're telling you that there's nothing, but they haven't done any tests. And her son was told that he was just being aggressive.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, when I took her, I was probably a lot firmer and a lot more aggressive.
No one called you aggressive, though, did they?
Nobody called me aggressive. I actually said, eventually when they were going to see her, they said about doing an ultrasound, but they said the team weren't going to be there. And I said, that's fine, we'll sit here all night, because they wanted us to go home. And then they decided to do a scan instead of an ultrasound, and that's when they picked it up because I refused to move.
Wow.
And I think had that have been a black person, I do think security from the hospital would have been called upon.
I was about to say, if it had been your husband, your partner, they might have called the security guard if he refused to move after they've called him aggressive. Good grief.
Definitely would have.
Good grief. Is she all right?
We have just finished her chemo treatment.
Yeah?
Yes. So things are looking up, taking every day as it comes, getting her stronger. But the doctor said to me, if I hadn't have been such a formidable force...
Is that the phrase he used? As opposed to an aggressive black man, a formidable force of a white woman.
That is what they used.
Yeah.
That a few weeks, and we would have been looking at a totally different story.
Just sent shivers down my spine then, Stephanie. Absolute shivers.
Yeah.
It's really scary, isn't it? I mean, for me, it ceases to be a debatable point when you get past the 3rd or the 4th visit. But for anyone who would still need proof that this had anything to do with colour, is there anything you can think of that would close the deal, as it were? Formidable force versus aggressive is quite a good example, isn't it?
As I said, I was called formidable force. The son was called aggressive.
Yeah.
And I was probably a lot more aggressive than the son was, to be honest.
It's like when in the football you've got a very, very tough white player is called a unit, and a tough black player is called a beast, and we don't even notice that stuff is going on until somebody else points it out to you. But you did you know them when you came up? Do you live in Hillingdon and you went back to Birmingham?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Now
so you went back to Brum.
Visit my actual family.
Yeah. Did you know when you set off that you were probably going to get a different result? I mean, is that what your motivation was? You thought, right, I'm going to go as a white woman and see what happens when I... Well, I never. Yeah. I tell you what, I'm feeling very naive today.
I've been living in a biracial relationship, and I've seen the difference to the way in which we get treated when we're together, when we're out separately. And I understand the things that I can accomplish that my partner can't.
Yes, clearly. And you sound so matter-of-fact about it, which is because for you in your life, it is a matter of fact.
Yes, well, a lot of white people, they don't see it because they don't live it.
Well, clearly.
And although they're told about it, a lot don't want to believe it.
Well, we know that, don't we? Governments even commission reports to tell us that it doesn't exist.